I felt closure with Enter the Void, and I felt closure with I Stand Alone, but I didn't. I felt like there was more that I could know about what happened.
You want to know, once her face was destroyed, probably she lost the baby. I think she survived to it, but then her boyfriend has his arm broken. Maybe they're in the same hospital. I don't know.
Question. Yes, please, Mercedes.
And maybe, and the other one certainly is in prison.
But
Because actually in Irreversible, when they finally in the story they kill someone, but initially in the movie they kill someone. They don't kill the right guy. They kill a guy who's in the same club, and you see the rapist enjoying how they kill.
And we see Latanya for that one moment.
So probably that guy's in prison since.
that guy gets away.
Yeah, the bad guy. I don't know. The bad guy comes out from the club.
Mercedes, please.
This may be a dumb question, and this may be like too large a question, but how do you choose your subject matter? Why do you make the types of movies that you make? They're so raw.
In this one, I would say, when people ask me if I had a reference for this one, I say, life itself, more than for Irreversible. Of course, I had seen Memento, I had seen Betrayal, a movie based on a Harold Pinter story that's all told backwards. But I had also seen Death Wish 1, Death Wish 2, Death Wish 3, and Straw Dogs, and I always enjoyed the rape and revenge movies. Although I didn't like that, like all the bad guys are always punished. Because in life it mostly doesn't happen like that. But there was the Last House on the Left, I Spit on Your Grave. They're very simple. It's something bad happens, and then the good person kills all the bad guys. So it's not very believable. So I changed the fact that you don't kill the right guy. In Enter the Void, maybe it was a wish to see a movie that would portray the state of perception that you have when you take mushrooms or acid, and then I replace it in a context related to the Tibetan Book of the Dead. But you're just in the movie.
Yes, right now.
Just now. We're all de-virginized, Gaspar. We're all de-virginized. Sorry. Yes, please.
Who's the mother at the end?
What do you guys think?
It's the sister.
Yeah. I thought it
was the sister.
Linda. It looks like Linda.
And his mother.
We feel actually it's the mother. When you see the baby coming out,
the mother.
It's the mother. But I made sure that the mother and the sister would look alike. So and I made sure that the image would be out of focus. So you could think. But mostly, I don't believe in reincarnation at all. I don't believe, in all those things.
You're getting us all to believe in it, though. God.
I don't believe that the soul comes out of the body. I know that there are some kind of hallucinations that you can have on ketamine or having car crash in which you're anesthetized, and because you know the space around and you feel you're floating because the equilibrium is in the ears, and when it's anesthetized, you have the feeling you're floating in space. Then you recreate like a CGI world in your brain, and you can float in your dreams above that space that you've read and analyzed before closing your eyes. So it's a very common experience to have an astral vision. But some people think that it is really the soul coming out of the flesh, which I don't think.
And these are the moments of death, the moments.
But the thing in the movie is that I thought it would be great to do a movie about this collective dream that is life after death, and like Spielberg did the movie about the Martians. I don't think he believes in UFOs or in Martians, but it's a collective dream, and so he wanted to portray it. But I also wanted that portrayal to be dysfunctional, and towards the end of the movie, you just understand that actually he's not following the structure of the Tibetan Book of the Dead. my first language is not French. My first languages are Spanish and English because as I was born, my parents moved to New York, so it felt more natural to me to do movie in English. And it's weird because in France, Enter the Void is known by all the young kids who like drugs, but Irreversible is known by everybody in the country because that's the movie in which Monica Bellucci, the ultimate national ideal, was raped. So if I go to a police station, everybody knows the movie. Maybe they don't know my face. But what I finally discovered is that in the rest of the world now, Enter the Void is more famous than Irreversible, although it was a commercial failure and Irreversible was a commercial success.
More questions, please. Aaron, please.
Can you describe the process that you have with Benoit Debie about how you achieve the look of all these movies? Because they're kind of unlike any other movies that have been made.
Yeah. Before talking about Benoit Debie, there was a question about the actor, so I made it Karl come.
Thank you, Karl.
I don't always work with professional actors. I work with people, but in some situations you think that actors are going to do a much better job because you have situations that you can repeat over and over that people who are too emotional might not be able. Crying in front of a camera is not that easy. Imitating accents or pretending you're on coke when you're not, it's not easy for normal people. Also, relating to the other people's emotions, it's not that easy. And even when you do a movie with unprofessional people who are very charismatic, it's always good to have a leader or someone who's an actor because he drives all the other people. And in this case, of course, Karl was like driving all the rest of the people involved in front of the camera with me. It was like a common job, and he was improvising all the dialogues with me, whispering things from behind the camera. The whole script was 7 pages long. Then the situations were not storyboarded. The situations were not precisely conceived. Once we had the set and the people to film, then we'd start and we would close the doors and start enjoying the shooting. Was it like that?
Yeah. I mean, the call sheet was kind of a joke when we were shooting because Gaspar would show up and Benoit would show up and they'd have their coffee and then I'd say, what are we doing? And he'd kind of be running around setting lights up, ignoring me because I think it was effective too. He wanted spontaneous moments to occur constantly. He wanted himself to be surprised. And so it appeared, at least from my vantage point, that Benoit and Gaspar would kind of find the shot, and I think he just knew that if he put me in a certain position, that maybe he could match cut later in the editing room. And so sometimes we'd shoot from multiple angles, but it was really we'd sit us and finally the shot would get it ready. It took like an hour because of the 3D cameras, and then he'd sit us down and say, okay, so what would you say? Maybe you think she's cheating on you with your drug dealer. So.
How was the improvness though that in terms of like being in different roles, that maybe working with a director that wants to control like more of your performance and everything you do, here being liberated to have this kind of, I guess, improv sort of energy? How was that for you as an actor?
My training was kind of fit well for it. I trained at this school called the William Esper Studio in New York, and it's a kind of a Meisner-based program that the whole base. I mean, it's centered on improvisation, not comedic necessarily, but it's all about no script, and so I like it. I mean, for me, I like it when I'm surprised by the director, by the actors, and hopefully if they I don't know, pull out a gun or say something or spit on you, I'm at least hopefully I can like catch it. And it's kind of, those are the kind of gifts I'd like.
I think it's always better when we get to the shooting to solve all the technical problems linked to the image and to the sound So in my case, I don't know how other directors work. I don't storyboard, so I don't know how I'm gonna film it. I just make a rehearsal with the clothes on or without, just to see what would be the most logical positions for the actors, and then you with the cinematographer in my movies, I mostly do the camera. We put the lights, or we don't put lights. Mostly, if you can do a scene without putting any light, it's even better. Once you find the angles for the camera or for the two cameras, then you can start playing. You say, well, everybody else gets out of the room or of the set, and now we'll start shooting. And mostly, I think it's better to start shooting the rehearsals. I never rehearse in advance, because you see all the problems at the same time. You see if the camera's gonna work. You see if there's a traveling, if it's gonna work. If the boomer is gonna put his mic inside. So mostly the first 2 takes are not gonna be good, or the 3 first takes. But there is an energy that is much higher in everybody's brain